I was just thinking about campers and homelessness and whatnot. And to be honest, I can't wait till I can get my camper. Yes, I'll have to most likely get a truck to haul it, because the van can haul it, but I'm not dealing with that. That van isn't the best right now. But it's mainly the fact that I can transport my home wherever I want to, wherever we want to. So, for instance, if we owned a house up here, we needed to move to Florida because something happened with our family, then we'd have to figure out how to sell our house, even though we just got it. And it's just not a good financially sound decision. I understand campers, RVs, and cars and trucks, they all depreciate. I understand that. That's not something I don't know. I do know that it's a depreciating asset. But at the same time, a house, even if I could afford one, especially in this area, which I can't, which is $300,000 and up, I can't afford no $300,000 house. Even if I had a whole bunch of money saved up, I couldn't afford it. But we're not even sure if we even want to stay here. Where we're at right now in this state, we're not sure if we even want to live here for long term, if that makes sense. I eventually want to move because that's what I want to do. And I know she wouldn't mind it. I mean, she has no obligations here. I have nothing other than my job, and I have some family. But I can move my camper wherever I want to. Whenever it comes to an apartment, I can't bring a house or an apartment with me. And in an apartment, you gotta sign a leasing agreement for it. You gotta, however long it is, a year, 2 years, however long you do it, usually it's 12 months or a year. And I just don't feel like doing that. I'd rather have a month-to-month type thing or week-by-week, day-by-day until I get my camper. I understand that there's expenses to my camper, but it's way more, in my opinion, pros and cons. And don't get me wrong, I know that campers can have a lot of maintenance, but I'm ready to deal with that, if that makes sense. I want to have that, known it, and then whenever we want to settle down, whatever state that is, we can buy land to put it on, which I understand you have to find one or a county that lets you zone it or has a zoning for an RV. Because not everywhere you can have RVs there. You can't even camp out on your own property. If the county finds out, you can get kicked off your own property. It's crazy. Crazy how that is. How you can sit there and own a piece of property, but if you wanted to pitch a tent on your own property and the county found out, you can get in trouble if it's not zoned for that. If it's zoned for recreational and camping and all, yeah, you can. But it all really depends. But like I said, it's just an option that I want to do. And, like I said, whenever I feel like buying a house, I could. If I don't know if I'm going to buy a house just yet, or if I'm going to just buy a piece of land and then do something with that, if that makes sense. I can't tell you, because of the fact that I don't know. Life can throw curveballs at you at any moment. You may plan for the future doing this, and then it doesn't happen, if that makes sense. But homelessness, it's a big issue. There's homeless, typical homeless people that are dirty and they don't have any assets or any type of amenities or any way to take a shower, or they're scrounging around for food. I wouldn't say they're lazy, but a lot of them are addicted to some type of substance like alcohol or even some type of hard drug. And it's really sad, but all of us that are not rich are in that position, if that makes sense. Any one of us could sit there and be homeless. And there are people that are homeless in their cars, even in campers. I mean, it really all depends, but there are a lot of good, hardworking homeless people out there that aren't dirty and they look presentable, but they just can't get by because of the jobs, the opportunities that they're presented. They can't get ahead. For instance, if you get hurt at your job, not really at your job because you can get workman's comp, but just say you got hurt outside of work, you can't get no workman's comp. So what's going to happen next is if you get hurt to the point where you can't go to work for weeks, you're pretty much, unless you have some type of good relationship with your employer, you're pretty much going to probably lose your job. I know for me, last March, I believe, I hurt my elbow. I dislocated it. I couldn't get a doctor's appointment for 2 weeks. If I was at a different type of job, I would have lost my job. I would have lost everything because of my elbow. That was my fault, nobody else's. I tripped over his ass running. But that's my point, is that if you got sick with cancer or whatever debilitating illness that you get and you can't go to work, if you don't have any savings or don't have something there to support you, you're kind of gonna be SOL, you know? And this is why I like to advocate trying to do whatever you can to diversify your income and do whatever you can to make life work and get that good, better paying job and whatnot. I mean, I know not everybody wants to work a job, but some people want to own businesses, and hey, if you can do that, do it. But I don't really, and I understand that some solutions for homelessness would be like the government getting involved and helping out, but that's not going to happen. The government doesn't really care. In my opinion, no politician, no government actually gives rat's ass about any of us. They really don't. None of them give a rat's ass about us. I mean, if they really did, why do we have so many homeless people? You know? It's sad in my opinion. And I'm just tired of running in that rat race. That's why I always talk about me wanting to make money passively somewhat and doing whatever I can to live my life. Even making money off social media, I would love to do that. And maybe one day I will. We'll see. But keep your head up. There's always going to be good days. Even though that you may be going through bad, there's going to be good right around the corner. So keep your head up and keep going.